Welcome back to the English Hustle Podcast, where we help you learn English and achieve your goals. I'm Alex.
And I'm Maria. Today we're diving into a very exciting topic, creating a roadmap to success.
That's right. In this episode, we're going to explore what it means to set goals and make a plan to achieve them. Whether you're learning English or working towards any personal or professional goal, having a clear roadmap can make all the difference.
We'll discuss practical steps you can take to define your goals, break them down into manageable tasks, and stay motivated along the way. Plus, we'll share some tips and insights that you can apply to your own journey.
And don't worry if you're new to this concept. We'll break everything down into simple, easy-to-understand segments. By the end of this episode, you'll have a solid understanding of how to create your own roadmap to success.
So, stay tuned as we walk you through the process and provide you with some valuable resources to help you along the way.
Let's get started. All right, Maria. Let's dive into creating a successful roadmap to success. Where do you think we should start?
I think the first step is setting clear and specific goals. Without a clear vision of what you want to achieve, it's hard to create a roadmap.
Absolutely. It's important to define what success means to you. For example, if someone wants to improve their English skills, their goal might be to reach a certain level of proficiency by a specific date.
Exactly. And once you have your main goal, you need to break it down into smaller, manageable tasks. This way, it doesn't feel overwhelming. For instance, if the goal is to improve English, tasks might include practicing vocabulary daily, attending language classes, and engaging in conversation practice.
That's a great point. I remember when I was learning a new language, I set weekly goals for myself, like learning a certain number of new words or having a conversation in that language. It helped me stay on track.
I did something similar. I also found it helpful to create a timeline for achieving each task. This way, I could see my progress and adjust my plan if needed.
A timeline is a fantastic idea. It keeps you accountable and provides motivation as you check off completed tasks. But what about staying motivated through the process?
Motivation can be challenging. One thing that helped me was finding a support system, whether it was friends, family, or a study group. They encouraged me and held me accountable.
That's true. Having someone to share your journey with can make a big difference. Also, celebrating small wins along the way keeps you motivated.
Definitely. Small rewards for reaching milestones can be very motivating. For example, treating yourself to something you enjoy after completing a challenging task.
Another tip is to stay flexible. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's okay. It's important to be adaptable and adjust your roadmap as needed.
Absolutely. Flexibility allows you to handle unexpected challenges and stay on course towards your ultimate goal.
To wrap it up, creating a roadmap to success involves setting clear goals, breaking them down into smaller tasks, creating a timeline, finding support, celebrating milestones, and staying flexible.
And remember, the roadmap is a tool to guide you, but the journey itself is where you'll learn and grow the most.
Great advice. Let's move on to our next segment, where we'll highlight some key vocabulary from our conversation. Vocabulary. Highlight. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the key vocabulary words we used in our conversation about creating a roadmap to success.
The first word we have is goal. A goal is something you aim to achieve. For example, your goal might be to learn 50 new vocabulary words in a month.
Here's another example. Her goal is to run a marathon by the end of the year. A goal helps you focus your efforts and track your progress.
The next word is roadmap. A roadmap is a plan or strategy for achieving something. It outlines the steps you need to take.
For instance, he created a roadmap to reach his career objectives. It's like a detailed guide that helps you navigate your path to success.
Our next word is milestone. A milestone is a significant event or achievement in the process of reaching a goal.
You might say, passing the exam was an important milestone in her journey to becoming a doctor. Milestones mark your progress and help you stay motivated.
Another key term is timeline. A timeline is a schedule that shows when different tasks or events are planned to occur.
For example, the project's timeline includes deadlines for each phase. A timeline helps you organize and manage your time effectively.
Next, we have motivation. Motivation is the drive or reason behind your actions. It's what keeps you moving towards your goal.
An example would be, her motivation to learn English was to travel abroad. Finding what motivates you can make the process more enjoyable and rewarding.
Lastly, let's discuss flexibility. Flexibility means being able to adapt and adjust when things don't go as planned.
For instance, he showed great flexibility when he had to change his study schedule. Being flexible helps you handle challenges and stay on track.
To recap, we've covered goal, roadmap, milestone, timeline, motivation, and flexibility. Understanding these words will help you better grasp the concepts we discussed.
Great job, Maria. Now, let's move on to our Grammar Spotlight segment. Grammar Spotlight. Now it's time for our Grammar Spotlight. We're going to focus on some important grammar points that came up in our conversation.
The first grammar point we'll cover is the use of to plus verb to express purpose or intention. This structure helps explain why you're doing something.
For example, in the sentence, she created a roadmap to achieve her goals. The phrase to achieve explains the purpose of creating the roadmap.
Another example is, he set a timeline to complete the project on time. Here, to complete shows the intention behind setting the timeline.
Next, let's look at verbs of intention like plan, aim, and hope. These verbs are often used with to plus verb to talk about future goals.
For instance, I plan to improve my English skills. The verb plan is followed by to improve to show the intention.
Similarly, she aims to run a marathon. Here, aims to run indicates her goal.
Moving on, let's discuss conditionals, used to talk about possible outcomes or consequences. Specifically, the first conditional is useful here. If plus present simple, will plus verb.
For example, if you set clear goals, you will be more successful. This structure shows that setting goals can lead to success.
Another example is, if he follows his roadmap, he will reach his milestones. It's a way to talk about a likely result based on a condition.
Lastly, let's cover modal verbs. For advice and suggestions, modal verbs like should, could, and might are used to offer guidance.
For example, you should break down your goals into smaller tasks. The modal verb should is used to give advice.
Another example is, you could find a support system to stay motivated. Here, could suggests a possible option.
To summarize, we covered the use of to plus verb for purpose, verbs of intention, the first conditional, and modal verbs for advice.
Understanding these grammar points will help you communicate more clearly and effectively about your goals and plans.
Great job, Alex. Next, let's explore some fun facts related to our topic.
Fan Facts. Welcome to the Fun Facts segment. Today we're sharing some fascinating tidbits about success and goal setting.
Let's start with a fact about goal setting. Did you know that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them compared to those who don't? Writing down goals makes them more tangible and helps you stay committed.
That's a great fact. Here's another one. The concept of SMART goals, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, was developed in 1981 by George T. Doran. This framework has been widely used to help people set clear and actionable goals.
And here's a fun historical fact. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, famously failed over 1,000 times before he succeeded. His perseverance and willingness to learn from each failure eventually led to his success.
Speaking of perseverance, studies show that grit, or the passion and perseverance for long-term goals, is a strong predictor of success. Angela Duckworth, a psychologist, has done extensive research on how grit can be more important than talent.
Here's a surprising fact. The average person has between 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day, and many of these thoughts are repetitive. Focusing on positive, goal-oriented thoughts can help steer you towards success.
Another interesting fact is that setting short-term milestones can increase motivation. Research shows that achieving small milestones gives you a sense of accomplishment and encourages you to keep going.
And finally, did you know that visualizing your goals can actually help you achieve them? Athletes and successful people often use visualization techniques to imagine their success, which can enhance performance and motivation.
These fun facts not only provide insight into goal setting and success, but also emphasize the importance of planning, perseverance, and positive thinking.
We hope you enjoyed these facts. Now let's move on to our interactive exercises segment.
Interactive exercise. Now it's time for some interactive exercises. We've prepared a short quiz to help you practice the vocabulary and grammar points we've discussed. Ready?
Let's get started. Here's the first question. Question 1. What is the term used to describe a plan or strategy for achieving something? A. Milestone. B. Roadmap. C. Timeline. D. Motivation.
The correct answer is B. Roadmap. A roadmap is a plan or strategy for reaching your goals.
Great. On to the next question. Question 2. Which sentence correctly uses the first conditional? A. If you set goals, you achieved success. B. If you set goals, you will achieve success. C. If you set goals, you would achieve success. D. If you set goals, you had achieved success.
The correct answer is B. If you set goals, you will achieve success. This sentence uses the first conditional to show a likely result based on a condition.
And finally, question 3. Question 3. Which phrase correctly shows purpose using to plus verb? A. She created a timeline for achieving her goals. B. He aims achieving his dreams. C. They wrote down their goals to staying focused. D. She made a plan to improve her skills.
The correct answer is D. She made a plan to improve her skills. The phrase "to improve" shows the purpose of making the plan.
Great job on the quiz. We hope these exercises helped reinforce what we've discussed.
Next, let's move on to practice sentences. Practice sentences. It's time for our practice sentences segment. We'll provide sentences using the vocabulary and grammar points from our conversation. Feel free to repeat after us to practice.
Let's start with some sentences using the vocabulary we covered.
Here's the first sentence with goal. My goal is to read one book every month.
Now try repeating. My goal is to read one book every month.
Next, here's a sentence using roadmap. She followed a detailed roadmap to achieve her career goals.
Repeat after us. She followed a detailed roadmap to achieve her career goals.
Moving on to a sentence with milestone. Reaching the first milestone in her project boosted her confidence.
Practice this sentence. Reaching the first milestone in her project boosted her confidence.
And one more, with a timeline. The timeline for the new product launch includes several key phases.
Repeat. The timeline for the new product launch includes several key phases.
Now let's practice some sentences using the first conditional.
Here's the first one. If you set realistic goals, you will be more motivated to achieve them.
Try repeating. If you set realistic goals, you will be more motivated to achieve them.
Here's another one. If he sticks to his plan, he will reach his fitness goals.
I practiced this sentence. If he sticks to his plan, he will reach his fitness goals.
Let's do a sentence with should. For advice, you should create a roadmap to stay organized.
Repeat after us. You should create a roadmap to stay organized.
And finally, a sentence with to plus verb for purpose. They developed a strategy to increase their sales.
Practice this. They developed a strategy to increase their sales.
Great job practicing these sentences. Keep repeating them to reinforce your understanding.
Up next, we have language learning tips to help you on your journey. Language learning tips. Welcome to the Language Learning Tips segment. Today, we'll share some effective strategies to help you succeed in your language learning journey, all while relating them to the concept of creating a roadmap to success.
First tip, set clear, achievable goals. Just like in any successful roadmap, start by setting specific and manageable language learning goals. For example, you might aim to learn 10 new words each week or to complete a chapter in your textbook every month.
Great advice, Maria. The second tip is to create a study plan and timeline. Develop a structured plan that outlines what you need to do and by when. This could include daily or weekly tasks, such as practicing speaking for 15 minutes a day or writing a short essay each week.
Tip number 3, Track your progress and celebrate milestones. Just as you track milestones on a roadmap, keep track of your achievements, no matter how small. Celebrate when you reach milestones like mastering a new grammar point or having a successful conversation.
Absolutely. The fourth tip is to find support and accountability. Whether it's a language partner, a tutor, or a study group, having someone to share your goals with and to encourage you can make a big difference. They can help you stay motivated and accountable.
Tip 5. Stay flexible and adaptable. Just like adjusting your roadmap when facing unexpected challenges, be ready to adapt your learning plan if something isn't working. If you find a certain method isn't effective, try a new approach or resource.
Another important tip is to engage in immersive experiences. Surround yourself with the language as much as possible. This could mean watching movies, listening to podcasts, or reading books in the target language. Immersion helps reinforce your learning and makes it more practical.
And lastly, reflect and adjust your goals. Periodically review your goals and progress. Reflect on what's working and what might need to change. Adjust your goals and plan as needed to ensure you stay on track and motivated.
To sum up, setting clear goals, creating a plan, tracking progress, finding support, staying flexible, engaging in immersive experiences, and reflecting on your progress are all key strategies for effective language learning.
We hope these tips help you on your journey to success. Now, let's wrap up with our conclusion segment.
Conclusion. As we wrap up today's episode, let's quickly review what we've covered about creating a roadmap to success.
We started with the importance of setting clear and specific goals. Knowing what you want to achieve is the first step in creating a successful roadmap.
Next, we discussed breaking down those goals into smaller, manageable tasks and setting a timeline to keep yourself on track.
We highlighted the significance of staying motivated, celebrating milestones, and finding support to keep you going throughout your journey.
We also covered key vocabulary related to goal setting, such as goal, roadmap, milestone, timeline, motivation, and flexibility.
In our grammar spotlight, we explored how to use to plus verb for purpose, the first conditional, and modal verbs for advice.
We engaged in interactive exercises to practice these concepts and shared fun facts about success and goal setting.
Finally, we provided practical language learning tips to help you apply the principles of creating a roadmap to your own learning journey.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the English Hustle podcast. We hope you found it useful and inspiring.
Be sure to tune in to our next episode, where we'll discuss strategies for overcoming procrastination and staying productive. It's a topic that will help you apply your roadmap to achieve even more.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review if you enjoyed today's episode. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners.
Thanks again for listening. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Until then, keep striving towards your goals, and remember that your roadmap to success is just the beginning of an exciting journey.